1. The Jedi mind trick, gaslighting. This isn't just someone disagreeing with you. This is a systematic soul-level renovation of your reality. It starts small. You're too sensitive, I never said that. Then it escalates. You point to a shattered vase. They look you dead in the eye and say, "What vase? You bought flowers and put them in a jar, remember? You've been so forgetful lately." They mix undeniable truths with the lie, "You did buy flowers," just tried to poison the whole memory. Over time, your trust in your own mind erodes like a sandcastle at high tide. You start keeping a mental diary, then an actual one, then you hide it because you can't trust your own memory. The abuser becomes the sole curator of truth. It's like living with a personal, petty George Orwell. "We have always been at war with Eastasia, and you always wanted pineapple on that pizza, darling. Why are you rewriting history?" Clara's shrinking world. Clara loved the rain. She'd open the window just to smell it. After a year with Mark, she found herself flinching at the first patter on the roof. It began with the concert. "You begged me to get those tickets. You were so excited," Mark said, bemused, when she mentioned she didn't even like the band. She had the text chain proving otherwise, but when she showed him, he sighed with theatrical pity. "Babe, you Photoshop for a living, and you've been so stressed at work." This is what I'm talking about. He'd use her skills against her stress against her. One day, he came home to her crying. The window open, rain soaking the sill. "I can't remember if I opened it or if you did," she whispered. He closed it, gently. "It's okay," he said, wiping her tear. "I'll help you remember things." His kindness in that moment felt like the only real thing in the world. It was the lock clicking shut. Your shield. The reality anchor. Trust the paper trail, texts, emails, a private journal, maybe even a voice memo to yourself. When the fog rolls in, check your anchors. Confide in a trusted friend, not for drama, but for a sanity check. You might say, "Hey, this is what I remember. Am I off base?" The moment someone makes you question your basic perception, sound the internal alarms. 2. The human piñata. Love bombing and devaluation. This is emotional whiplash as a strategy. First, you're not just loved, you're canonized. The sun rises and sets in your Instagram feed. Gifts, adoration, future faking, like "let's get a cabin in 2 years." Intense soulmate rhetoric. It's a deluge of affection with no spigot. You're dizzy, addicted. Then subtly, the withdrawals begin. A cold tone, a missed call, a cruel joke disguised as banter. You, now hooked on the high, scramble to earn back the initial paradise. You'll apologize for things you didn't do, change behaviors they never asked you to change. The cycle, idealize, devalue, discard, repeats. Each high is, well, slightly less high, and each low, deeper and more desolate. You stop being a partner and become a living slot machine, desperately pulling your own lever for the occasional jackpot of kindness. It's like being trained by a sociopathic dolphin. They throw you a magnificent fish, extravagant love, then, well, nothing. Then a sardine, just a crumb of attention. Before you know it, you're doing backflips for that sardine, totally convinced you've forgotten how to fish for yourself. Ben's roller coaster. Sophie painted Ben's name across her sky. For 3 months he was her universe, her missing piece. She'd show up at his job with coffee, leave poems in his car, plan these elaborate surprise dates. Then, the day after he said "I love you," she went cold. "You're needy." She scoffed when he asked if she was okay. Confused, Ben bought her flowers. Oh, trying to buy love? She smirked but took them. The next day, she was sweet again. The whiplash became his normal. He stopped seeing friends, "Sophie needs me," and quit his book club because, well, she says it's for pretentious people. By the end, a single good morning text could make his whole day, a monument built on the ruins of his former life. Your shield. The drip rate rule. You see, healthy love builds like a steady rainfall, nourishing and consistent. But a flash flood, well, that just washes everything away. Be wary of instant, suffocating intensity. It's essential to enforce boundaries early. You might say, "I love this attention, but let's slow down a bit."
A healthy person will respect that. A manipulator, on the other hand, might panic, guilt, or escalate.
3. The stealth bomber, also known as intermittent reinforcement. This, my friends, is the cruelest behavioral science experiment run on an audience of one. You never quite know when kindness or cruelty is coming. The text might be immediate and effusive for days, and then radio silence for 3. They might praise you publicly and then eviscerate you privately, or perhaps vice versa. This unpredictability, well, it triggers the same addictive pathways as a slot machine. You're in a constant state of anxious scanning, trying to crack the code. The reward of their positive attention becomes ultra-powerful precisely because it's random. You find yourself psychologically glued to them, perpetually waiting for the next hit. So you become a lab rat in a messed-up love experiment, pressing the be a good partner lever over and over again. Sometimes you get a treat, sometimes a mild shock, sometimes, well, nothing at all. But you just can't stop pressing because, the next press might finally be the treat. Your shield, the pattern detective. Chart the behavior, not the words. Use a calendar if you must. Notice, is there a reliable, predictable cause and effect? Or is it just chaos? Your nervous system, it craves predictability. If the pattern is no pattern, well, that's your data. It's not love, it's a conditioning program. 4. The invisible cage, isolation. This isn't them forbidding you from seeing friends. It's far more elegant than that. It's the slow, steady drip of poison about everyone you love. Your sister is so competitive with you, it's sad. Mike just uses you for free therapy. Your work friends are so immature. They frame themselves as the only one who truly sees and protects you. Meanwhile, they monopolize your time, get sulky when you have plans, or create drama you have to manage, leaving you exhausted and with no energy for others. You don't realize you're in a cage until you look up and the entire landscape of your support system is gone, and the only voice left is theirs. It's like they're slowly unplugging all the other lights in the house, then convincing you the dark is cozy and safe, and that the one flickering bulb they hold is the sun. Your shield, the loyalty audit. Maintain your connections fiercely. Make plans and, actually keep them. Watch for the language of division. A partner who truly loves you will want to join your world, not be your entire world. If they criticize your loved ones, ask yourself, is this concern, or is it consistently painting everyone else as a villain? 5. The emotional taxman, guilt and obligation. Every act of basic decency comes with a hidden invoice. They did the dishes, now you owe them. They forgave you for a minor transgression. That's a chit to be called in later. They use phrases like, after all I've done for you, or a real partner would. This creates a ledger in your mind where you are, perpetually in debt. You feel guilty for your own needs, for setting boundaries, for simply existing as an independent person. Your energy is siphoned to pay off a debt that never, ever clears. It's like being charged rent for the emotional space you occupy in their life. Breathe too loud, that's a fee. Have a bad day, that's a surcharge. The statement never comes in the mail. It's just deducted directly from your soul. Your shield, the no-issue ledger. In healthy relationships, kindness is not a loan, it's a gift. Obligation is the currency of controllers, not partners. Practice saying, I appreciate what you did, but that was your choice. It doesn't obligate me to X. If met with fury or hurt, you found the taxman. 6. The Motte and Bailey doctrine, sometimes called moving the goalposts, is, a kind of rhetorical fortress that's disguised as a negotiation. The Bailey is this outrageous, indefensible demand or criticism, like you don't truly love me unless you cut off your family. But when you push back, they retreat to the Motte, which is a reasonable, fortified position that was never really the real issue at all. For example, I just want us to be closer as a couple. Why are you attacking me for wanting closeness? You end up defending yourself against this reasonable-sounding Motte, feeling guilty for your so-called overreaction, while the true, toxic Bailey just sits there, untouched. The goalposts aren't just moved. Honestly, they're on a motorized track, making sure you can never quite score a point of resolution. You're always playing defense, always apologizing for the wrong thing. It's a bit like arguing about the color to paint a room, and by the end you're actually apologizing for the existence of the walls, while they've secretly gone and sold the house. Liam's shifting shoreline is a great example. Liam's partner Jordan wanted more quality time. Sounds reasonable, right? So Liam cleared 2 weeknights. Then Jordan said, "Real connection means unplugging. No phones when we're together." Liam agreed, putting his phone away. But a week later, it was, "If you were truly present, you'd have told your boss you're unreachable after 6 p.m. Liam pushed back, saying that was unreasonable. Jordan's eyes welled up, and then, "All I asked for was a little attention. I see now that your career is more important than us." Liam, stung, spent the evening apologizing for being career-obsessed, a trait he'd never actually had, while the original ever-expanding demand for total enmeshment just loomed there, unchallenged. Here's your shield, the stake and clarify maneuver. When a complaint shifts, just stop. Literally say, "Hold on. First you said the problem was X, now it's Y. I want to address your concern, but I need to understand what the core stable issue is so I can work on it. Can we define it together?" If they cannot or will not define a stable grievance, you are not in a problem-solving dynamic, you are in a control dynamic.